Welcome to the illest stories. I'm your host, Money L, and today we're gonna be talking about the first time I got robbed. So check it out, listeners. This was a funny story. Knowing goddamn well I shouldn't have been doing what I was doing. I think it was about the beginning of tax time. I think it was like March. It was still cold outside. I still had the wool ridge on, fur on top. I think I was going to the H&R Block, and I seen my homie. We was on Fulton Street downtown. Like we know where the old McDonald's is. I think the McDonald's still there. Right on that, like the extension that turned on to Flatbush Avenue. So I see my homie. He like, yo, bro, I gotta go take care of some shit. My homie. Like I'm like, hell yeah. Like let me just go do my taxes. Then I'm coming to fuck with you. Boom. He like, yo, I'm about to go buy two slammers and shit. I'm like, oh word. Shit, so I'm like, I'm that's my homie. Nigga, I'm in on that. Like, nigga, one of those, I'm holding one of those if I need. You know what I'm saying? Go down. He's buying it from his friend. I don't know, son. I guess he used to go to school with him or whatever. So they come to pick us up. It's some little hoopty, some little gold hoopty. Now it's about one, two. I think it's about three of them in there, and then we squeezed in there. So it's about five of us in there. I had the whole seat. I was in the motherfucking middle and shit. But good thing about that seat, I can see everything from the driver, the passenger, the person that's next to me. Like my visual is on everything. So I was able to remember tattoos and things like that. But that's neither here nor there. So boom, they pick us up. I think we were going to Crown Heights. They were taking us to Crown Heights. You know what I'm saying? We were driving. Was ill. They had, they hood niggas, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You do business with black folks, you young, you do business in the hood, you sell drugs. It's like you doing business with other hood niggas. They had on Styles P in the whip. The funny thing about it is, like, that's the type of shit that I would play before I would do something when I was young. Styles or some shit like that to hype me up. So my dumb ass didn't really catch on. I'm just like, they just like, you know what I'm saying? They like the same niggas we like as far as music. So they bumping that shit. They ain't gonna be bumping off Garth Brooks and no shit like that. We get to about, I think, somewhere like maybe Presidents. It's like, it's a lot of Jewish people over there. We were brought to Crown Heights. So we get to our location. I guess the dude that he knew gets out the car. Like, yo, this is it right here. This is where we going to. So my man gets out. I'm in the whole seat, so I got to get out after my boy get out. He gets out. I gets out. Now we follow into a building. We get into the building. He like, all right, we got to go upstairs. Like, now, let me tell you, like, me and my nigga, we official. I don't fuck with bullshit ass niggas, so I don't ever expect bullshit to go down. Like, if I'm in a strange environment, then I'm like, anything can go down. But I'm like, niggas that I link to is good people. I don't link to fucked up, grimy ass people. So I wouldn't expect my nigga to just be linking me to no grimy ass person. So anyway, we get to the building. We go up about to the third floor, maybe third or fourth floor. Can't remember accurately. So we get to the floor. He like approaches a door. Now y'all gotta think how I'm feeling right now before all this really about to take place. I've never been robbed before. I was doing the stickings, so karma, I guess. So I was kind of comfortable. Like shit don't be happening to me. Now, my boy, he's a tough guy. He's like, niggas ain't robbing me. Like, fuck out of here. He would disrespect your shit. I'll be like, nigga, I'll disrespect your shit, but if I got like $20 in my pocket, you can have that shit, nigga. That shit like, niggas ain't dying over that shit. I could make that tenfold. I'm only saying that because I was kind of comfortable. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how he felt. I don't know what type of, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know this nigga, so I probably should have been on guard. He gets to the door. We about like 4 feet behind him, maybe 5. You know what I'm saying? You're not walking up on no nigga tight close. You know what I'm saying? He gets to the door. He acts like he's putting like a key in the door. And I swear to this day, I wish I would have just recognized that shit. He turns around with a big ass fofo long. And that he points it directly into my face. I'm looking down a barrel. If anybody owns a 4-4 long, ever seen one, or you probably could watch like a Clint Eastwood movie or something like that. Like you might see one of them in there. That shit was in my face. Now, Remember, I told you we were about 5 feet away. When he extended his arm, he already cut about 2 feet away. With the gun in his hand, the 4-4 long, he cut about another 1.5 feet away. So it was like a foot left between me and that motherfucking gun. Now, I was not nervous 1 second at all. But what I realized during this is that the robber, only expected there to be one person. So I think it kind of threw him off when I was there. Because immediately after he pointed the gun at me, he nudged it towards my friend. He like, you know what I'm saying, give up the money. I'm looking at my homie. My homie like, fuck out of here, you know? So he proceeds, he approached my homie, and I really wanted to like rush this. Like I really wanted to. But you don't understand the sacrifices that if that gun goes off and hits him in his face, what type of mess it would have been made. And he would have had to kill me too. So he would have had to kill two of us. And I must add that the trigger was pulled back on that gun. Like, so all it take is a slight little bit of pressure and that thing would have went off. So anyway, he skipped right over me. He went right to my boy, grabbed him. So the first thing I was telling my boy is like, yo, just get that nigga whatever. And he was trying to make that shit quick. But you know when a nigga's serious, he had this look on his face, like, you know, he was biting his lip, like, if you don't fucking... And I'm like, damn, like, I could fucking do something probably. Like, it's like I said, it's gonna come with a risk. Is a few $100s worth my boy's life? Is it worth my life? You know, like that's not something we want to see. So in my head, I'm like, listen, fuck that. He gonna have to rob both of us, cause I'm not leaving my nigga in no type of situation. So he like grabbed my nigga, he put the shit to his head, and he start like, it's not a long hallway, but it's a hallway. It's about from wall to wall is about 4 to 5 feet. So it wasn't really a lot of space. So he like grabbed my boy by his jacket. He got the gun to his head, and he's like trying to bring him away from me, like so he can like try to get the robbery off comfortably. I'm assuming. Try to take my boy watch or whatever. Did a bad job at it. Cause my boy still had his chain at the end of the day, but I guess the dude was wanting money, so he tried to tap his pockets or whatever. He goes in his pockets. He takes out my boy. This is the funny thing about my boy. This thing he'll have like 200 in one pocket and like 600 or 700 in the other pocket. So remember, this is a robbery. Like anything can happen. A neighbor could come out their house. Like you in the building that you don't know the move arounds in this building. So he got the gun to his head. He telling me like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, nah. I'm not leaving my man. Like you crazy? I wouldn't even be able to sleep. I wouldn't even be able to sleep if I would have left my homie and then I would have found out that he was dead. I wouldn't even have been able to sleep. So I'm like, nah, bro. I'm not leaving my nigga. Like, you might as well just rob him and let us go about our motherfucking business, because at the end of the day, I was like, nigga, he know who you are. Like, he knows who you are. So, like, at the end of the day, that little he didn't even get all the money. That's just what was crazy. Because my boy got to the floor. He had the shit to the back of his head. I'm like, yo, chill. Just give, you know what I'm saying? They don't even, because you don't understand, this is a 4-4 long. That would have been a fucking mess. If you're a shooter and you're listening and you own a 4-4 long, or you ever clapped at somebody with a 4-4 long, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Niggas respect that shit. That shit go off. You don't want that shit. That shit even whiz by you. Okay? I told you, I was looking down the hole of that shit. That shit was like the size of a quarter, looking into the black abyss. But anyway, like he got my boy on the floor. He gets in his pocket. He take out like, I think like maybe like $200-$300. But it started to be noise. I think somebody was coming out their apartment or something like that. I don't even know. So I think he tried to get the watch before anything. He was like, get up. He told him to get up. So he tried to tell both of us like, yo, like, both of y'all turn around and, you know what I'm saying, like dip. We like turn around. Like, I'm not turning my back to you, bro. Like, I'm not getting shot. I'm gonna have to see myself get shot. Like, I'm not getting shot by not looking or none of that shit like that, bro. So my boy, he got up, he furious, and he just like, start backpedaling towards me. You know what I'm saying? I start backpedaling towards the stairs. We start backing up the stairs, turning our back. We backing up the stairs, going up the stairs like little hops, like we skipping steps, moving backwards. Then we see him come. He got the gun pointed up, like he about to blaze one, then try to run downstairs. So that's when we just like, whoo, dipped around a corner, went up. Like we went up like 2 flights. Then we went around the corner. My boy started like banging people's doors and shit, like just in case niggas, I guess, was trying to follow us. Niggas try to bang us, like niggas, you gonna have to bang us in front of everybody or some shit like that. So we got upstairs. We waited for a minute. I guess, you know what I'm saying? They completed the robbery. I guess for their mission, they considered themselves successful. I consider ourselves successful because we got out of there with our lives, which is the most important thing. Because his money, he could spend that money in a matter of minutes on a habit, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever, on food, on clothes. Our life is still here and it's still going. That was weird. We were still in the building for like 4 or 5 minutes. Then we came out the round, see if we see the car or whatever. We didn't see it. We got the fuck out of Dodge, yo. Ever since then, I always told myself, like, I always keep the banger now. I always keep a knife. I always keep my eyes open. Like, I don't even, it's certain type of deals, the type of people I even deal with. Like, you know what I'm saying? It could happen. It definitely could happen. It definitely could happen. I used to do it to people all the time, so, you know, when it happened back to me, I took it like a champ. It is what it is. That's Money Yell, and that's my illest story. Me getting robbed for the first time. Check me out on the next episode. We're going to have my boy Monster Meezy in here talking about his illest story.